So in this subject of manufacturing technology, in previous lecture we have discussed about various manufacturing processes, and we have talked about primary manufacturing process, secondary manufacturing process, as well as some other manufacturing process which has been used to convert raw material into usable product. So from today we are going to start one of the primary manufacturing process that is termed as a foundry technology, and in general it is also considered or known as a metal casting process. So casting or foundry is the process of producing metal or alloy component parts. Okay, so generally it will be used to produce metal or alloy component, and the part of desired shapes are produced by pouring the molten metal or alloy into a prepared mold and then allowing them to cool and solidify. So what is the important thing here? The important thing is note to here is that whatever the material from which we are going to produce a product, that is converted into metal. Okay, so it is converted into metal and then it will be poured. Okay, so where it will be poured? It will be poured in a hollow cavity. Okay, so here first of all we have to make the hollow cavity, and in that hollow cavity we have to pour the molten metal, and then it will allowed to cool and solidified. Okay, and after solidified, that solidified piece of metal or cast metal alloy is termed as a casting. Okay, so that part that is known as a casting. So as we discussed earlier that it is a process which is follow step by steps. Okay, so here it is important things to note that which are the important steps that is involved in a casting process. So first, pattern making. So that pattern, what is pattern first of all? So pattern is nothing but it is a replica of the finished product. Okay, whatever the product you want to make, depend upon the shape and size of that product, we make a initial component of similar shape and size, and that is termed as a pattern. Now that pattern that can be made up of various materials like wood. We can also make it by metals, plastic, wax, plaster. Okay, so different materials are available. So depends upon the requirement, depends upon the availability of what kind of product we are making. Based on that, we have to select that pattern material, and based on that we have to make the pattern. Now in while we are making the pattern, there are certain uh, allowances that we have to consider in mind. Okay, so what are that allowances? That we will see in upcoming slides or upcoming lecture. Okay, so but first an important thing is that we have to make the pattern. And why this pattern is important? Because we are going to produce a hollow cavity for making a mold. And how that hollow cavity is made? That hollow cavity is made by use of a pattern only. Okay, so that's why the pattern is one of the most important part for casting process. After making the pattern, thing is that we have to make the mold. And here, to make the mold, we are talking about the sand casting. So here we use a sand to make the mold. So sand is properly mixed and it is prepared. So how that sand mixing and sand preparation is done? So for that one, we have to select a particular sand. There are so many types of sands are available. But for a sand casting, for a particular product, what kind of sand we have to select, how it will be prepared. Then taste it. We have to taste the sand, because during the molding or during the pouring and after during the solidification, that prepared sand should not be deformed. That's why we have to change, we have to taste its capability. Okay, we have to taste its strength. Okay, so that is the one thing we have to do. Then, and prepare the necessary sand mixture for mold and core making. Okay, so why we have to do the mixing of sand? Because if we use only sand, then it is dry. Okay, so we cannot make the mold from dry sand. So we have to add some cohesive agent into the sand, like clay, water. Okay, so in a particular proportion, we have to mix the sand, clay, and water, and then that mixture is used for further process. Okay, so first step is to pattern making. Second step is to make sand mixing and sand preparation. And after making the pattern, after we have properly mixed the sand, the third step is to make a core. Okay, so core making is a process where we want to make a hollow part, or we want to make some holes inside a particular mold. Okay, so core making, it is a optional process. It is depends upon the requirement. Okay, so in some cases we do not require any hole. Okay, we do not go for a core making. Okay, but if we have certain holes, then we should go for a core making, because uh, it will eliminate your secondary operation. Okay, so your secondary operation process cost and time, that can be drastically reduced, or it can be saved by core making process. Okay, so with the help of pattern prepare, the mold and required cores can be produced. Then next step is melting. Whatever be the product, or whatever be the metal or alloy through which we want to produce a casting. So for that, what you have to do, we have to convert it into liquid. So we have to melt it. So melting is also important part or steps while we are making a casting, because the temperature up to which we heat the molten metal is important. It is total depends upon the types of the material. Okay, so that melting temperature we have to maintain it. Okay, and up to what period of time that melt temperature should be, or we have to hold that liquid up in that particular state, and then to cool it. Okay, so that's why this melting is also an important step for a casting process. Then once we have melt the molten metal, then next step is to pour. We have to fill the hollow cavity by using of that molten metal. Okay, so pour the molten metal or alloy in the mold and remove the casting from the mold after solidification of metal. Okay, so in this step we have melted the metal or alloy, and then inside that hollow cavity we fill that molten metal. And as we fill the molten metal, after some period of time, the solidification will start and it will solidify. And after solidification of the metal, we take out the component, we remove the casting from the mold. And after removing the casting from the mold, we have to do the finishing operation. Okay, so in finishing we have to do the cleaning and surface finishing of the casting depends upon the requirement. So that is the next step. And after that, testing. So why this testing is required? That what is the testing? The testing of that casted product. Okay, whatever the cast we have uh, produced, we have to test it. Okay, so test and inspect the casting and remove the defect. Okay, so if there is certain defects, we have to do the processes to remove that defect. And if there is no defect, then the product is okay and we can go further. And to remove that particular defects, we have to perform a heat treatment process. Why this heat treatment process is important for casting? Because we have to relieve the casting stress by using various heat treatment. Whenever the molten metal or alloy is converted into liquid and solidified, during that period of time, there will be some stresses generated. And that stress, that can be a cause of certain defect. Okay, that stress can be cause of certain defect. So to uh, reduce that casting stress, various heat treatment process that can be applied. Annealing, normalizing. Okay, we know that various heat treatment process. So what is your raw material? And depends upon that raw material, we can choose any of the heat treatment process to relieve the stress which is generated during the casting process. And after relieving the stress, we have to recheck it. Okay, and after rechecking, if it is inspected okay, then we will deliver the product. Okay, so these are the steps that's involved during the casting process. So again we will revise it because these steps are very important to understand, and that is followed in any casting process. So first step is to make the pattern. Okay, what is pattern? Pattern is nothing but it is a replica of the finished product, final product. And that pattern is made up of wood, metal, plastic, plaster, wax. Okay, so there are various materials available for making the pattern. Then second step is to sand mixing and sand preparation. So in sand mixing, what we add? We add some amount of clay, water. Okay, there are particular proportion of sand, clay and water, and all these things are thoroughly mixed so that we have a homogeneous mixture. Then third is core making. Okay, so if you want to produce certain holes inside the product, that hole can be produced by core making. Okay, so that is optional step, but if it is required, then we can go for that core making process. Then melting, the raw material from which we want to produce a final product. Okay, so that metal or alloy that can be melted, and after melting, pouring. Inside the hollow cavity, we pour the molten metal and then we allow it to solidify, and after solidified, we remove the molten metal, we remove the solidified product from the mold, and that solidified product, that is termed as a casting. Then cleaning, finishing and cleaning. So we remove the sand particles and its surface will be grind so that it have a good surface, good outer surface finish. Okay, so that we can do. The next step is testing, the testing of the casting. So to check that whether there are certain defect or not, and to remove that defect, we perform various heat treatment process, and after performing the heat treatments, again the casting is retested, and if it is okay, then we will deliver it. Okay, so these are the steps involved while making a casting. So now all these steps that we are going to see in deep. Now, what are the advantages of metal casting? So casting is one of the most versatile manufacturing process, because we can produce a product of any shape, any size, and from very small product to a very big product. So it has a very good versatility, or you can say it is the most versatile. Okay, it has the most versatility among all these manufacturing process. Then it provides the greatest freedom of design in terms of shape, size, and quality of product. Okay, so it will provide the greatest freedom. It will provide the greatest freedom of design in terms of shape. As already told that if we have a some simple shape, we can easily make the casting. If we have a difficult shape, in that case also the casting, that is the most suitable process. And size, from very small size product to a some big casting. Okay, from small 1 kg or 2 kg to 1000 kg also produced by the casting product. Okay, so it has a great range of uh, size and quality of the product. We can improvise the quality by the casting process. Okay, so it has a greatest freedom, while in all other processes they have certain limitation. Okay, so they have certain limitations in design, they have certain limitation in shape, size, and quality. Then next advantage is that casting provides a uniform directional property and better vibrational damping capacity to the cast component. So it is important. It provides a uniform directional property. So uh, as we pour the molten metal into the hollow cavity, and then it will be cooled. Okay, so during that cooling, it has a uniform cooling, so that the it whatever the properties, that is uniform throughout the whole component. Okay, at one end there is different property, and at other end there is different property. Okay, that is not an issue in casting process. you can you can have a uniform properties all around the casted product, and this is the best property. It has a better vibration damping capacity. That is the most important property which is the casted component have. They have a better vibrational damping capacity, so it will damp the vibration. And the damping of the vibration is very important, because in machining operation, when you cut a metal by any cutting tool, at that time lots of vibration is generated, and due to that vibration, the surface of that product, that will be affected. It will not uniform. It will not within the dimension tolerance. So how we can control it? If we can reduce the vibration. Okay, and that vibration, that can be damped by this casted product. Okay, so that's why the base of the lathe machine. Okay, and in most of the machine, the base, which is generally manufactured by casting product, Why? Because casting has this particular property. It has a vibration damping capacity. Okay, so during that machining operation, whatever the vibration is generated, it is damped by this casted base. Okay, so it is one of the very important property that a casting product has. Then complex and uneconomical shapes which are difficult to produce by other process can be easily produced by casting process. So complex and uneconomical shapes. Complex shapes which is very difficult to produce on any machining by any machining process or by forming process or by welding process. Simple little example is as we have already discussed that uh, IC engine of a bike or IC engine of a car. Okay, it is very difficult to produce by machining or welding process. While by use of a casting process, that complex shapes which can easily produce. Okay, then uneconomical shapes. Okay, so sometimes you can make the product by different manufacturing process, but to make that product by other process, your cost and time that will increase drastically. And as your cost and time will increase, whatever be the cost of the product, that will be very high. And as the cost of the product is very high and you go into the market for sale, okay, the customer will not going to buy it. Why? Because its cost is very high. Now the same product is produced by casting at low cost. Okay, so the overall cost of the product will decrease and the customer can buy it. Okay, so some shape which can be produced by the other processes, but it will be very expensive. So that's why that complex and uneconomical shape which are difficult to produce by other processes which can be easily produced by the casting process. Then a product obtained by casting is in one piece. Hence, there is no need of metal joining processes. Okay, so after the pouring and solidification, as you take out the component from the mold, it will be a single piece. Okay, so you do not need to do any metal joining process. So your secondary operation which can be eliminated. So it is a great advantage if the uh, piece, if the product is in a different pieces and if you join it, so there may be chance that from that joint there will be some leakage, or from that point there will be some gap, there will be some defect. Okay, so or the homogeneity of the product that will not remain throughout. So this should be the problem, but that problem is eliminated here. Why? Because we have a single piece. Okay, so that a single piece is produced by the casting process. Then very heavy and bulky parts which are difficult to get fabricated may be casted. Okay, so sometime very heavy and very bulky parts. So suppose you want to do the machining, then that heavy and bulky raw material that is very difficult to fit on that machine, because a lathe machine or drilling machine or shaping machine or milling machine, they have certain limit, and within that limit only they can produce a product. But if the material is very heavy and bulky, then it is very difficult to fit it on a machine. But such a kind of a product which can be easily casted. Okay, because in casting we do not require such machining operation. Okay, so in that casting process we can easily produce that heavy and bulky parts by using that casting process. it also produce machinable parts. Okay, so some parts which is produced by machining operation, the same part which can be produced by casting also, and that can also be machinable. Okay, so sometimes suppose you require a secondary operation, you can do it. So that is the advantage. Then casting process can be machinized and generally used for mass production of components. Okay, so when we require a mass production is used where we require a large number of product of generally same size. Okay, so in that case we can go for a casting process, and we can also machinized. Okay, the casting process can be mechanized. Mechanized means we can make it automatically in some cases, so that your production can be increased. If the same and a repeated product is to be produced, so we can mechanize it. And if it is a mechanized, we can make a large component or a large quantity of same product by using this casting process. Okay, so that is all. So it is not necessary that for a single piece or two piece we can go for a casting process. When we have a large production, we can go for a casting process. So it is also one advantage of a metal casting process. Then some of the application of the metal casting process where it is used. So uh, in transport vehicles like automobile engine, tractors, okay, some tractors and its trailer, so that can be produced by casting process because they have certain difficult shape which cannot be produced by machining or forming or any other process, but they can be easily produced by casting process. That's why this casting process is widely used for this automotive as well as that transport industry. Then machine tool structures, as we have already discussed in advantage, that they have a very good vibration damping capacity. Okay, so that most part of the machine tool structure is produced by casting process because it will damp the vibration generated during the machining operation. So your machining operation that can be improved. It has a good surface quality as well as all other parameters that can be easily controlled during the machining operation. Then turbine vents and power generators. Turbine vents having a certain curvature shape. Okay, and that curvature shape which is very difficult to produce on any other machining or forming process, but that can be easily produced by the uh, casting process. Okay, so that is another application where this metal casting is used. And power generators, in power generators again there are certain casings are required. Okay, and that casings for power generator is produced by casting process. Then mill housing. Okay, we know the mill, power mill and windmill and its housings which is produced by metal casting, because in that housing they will fit all the gears, okay, gear train and all other component. Okay, so when the gear will rotate, definitely there will be some vibrations. Okay, and that vibration is to be damped, and that is done by casted product. That's why in milling housings where large gear and gearbox is fixed, so that will be produced by metal casting. Then pump, filter and valves. Okay, so that is another area of application where we can use a casting process, because pump and its filter, okay, they have certain shape, and it's a valve, there are certain valves like non-return valves and all these things. So that is produced by metal casting process. Then railway crossing and aircraft jet engine blades, okay, so which is also produced by metal casting process. Okay, railway crossings, as we know, that that is a part which is require a certain shape, difficult shape, which is produced by casting, as well as aircraft jet engine. So already we have talked about the automobile engine, the same category of jet engine, which is uh, having a curvature blade, okay, and that blade is produced by metal casting process. Same way we can have certain agricultural parts and sanitary fittings, which is produced by metal casting. And finally some construction, communication and atomic energy applications, which is the wide area where we can use a metal casting process. So these are the some of the area of application where we can use metal casting. These are only few which is noted over here, but there are few many more where we can also use metal casting process. Okay, we cannot define each and every over here, but there are large number of area where we can easily apply the casting process to produce certain parts. Okay, so this is the application of metal casting process. So as I told earlier that whatever the steps what we have discussed over here, like uh, pattern making, then sand mixing and sand preparation, pour making, melting, okay, pouring, finishing, testing. So all that steps that we are going to discuss in detail one by one. So in metal casting process, the first and important step is the pattern making. Okay, so now first we are going to see in detail what is pattern and uh, what are the various pattern making techniques. Okay, so first, pattern making. So a pattern is a mold forming tool in the hand of a foundry man. Okay, so it is what? It is a mold forming tool. Okay, so it's a proper technical word is a mold forming tool. And as I already discussed that a pattern is defined as a model or a replica of the object to be cast. Okay, so this is the definition. It is a model or a replica of the object to be cast or object to be produced, object to be manufactured. And whatever be the shape of that pattern depends, or according to that shape your final product will be produced. Okay, so um, a pattern exactly resembles the casting to be made except for the various allowances. Okay, so what that pattern has, the pattern has a similar shape of the casting except the various allowances. So what are that various allowances that we are going to see? But the pattern has a small change in the shape and size from the original object. It is not exact same as of a in shape and size through the model or the object, but it has a certain dimension change. And why that dimension change are required? Because of that allowances. And why that allowances are important, that we are going to see in detail. Okay, but as we know that it is a model or replica. Okay, it is not a same, it is a model or replica of the object. Okay, So when there is a model or replica, they have certain shape and dimension change according to the or from the main object, because they have certain allowances. Okay, so during the casting process, what should be the allowances, that we are going to see in detail. If one object has to be cast, then also pattern is required. Okay, so this is important. Suppose, or if you want to make a product by casting, you must have to prepare a pattern. Without pattern, you cannot do the casting process. That's why it is the first and foremost step of the casting. Without pattern, you cannot produce any casting. Okay, so that's why it is very important component of the casting process. And if a model or form around which sand is packed to give rise to the cavity, that is called as a mold. Okay, so what is mold? Suppose we have one pattern. Okay, suppose we have one pattern like this, and around this pattern we fill or pack the sand, and whatever this combination of this pattern and sand, that is termed as a mold. Okay, so what is this? This one is the mold. Okay, in which molten metal is poured and the casting is produced. Okay, so here then we produce a hollow cavity, and in this hollow cavity we will fill the molten metal. Okay, so this is the use of pattern, and how that pattern is made, and what are the various metals, or what are the various materials that we can use for a casting, and how that casting is produced with various kinds of allowances, that we are going to discuss in our upcoming lecture. Okay, so this is enough for today. Thank you very much, and